Welcome back to Mini-Modelog. So this week I'm looking at the Skaven Pestilens Battletome and tell you what the difference is between buying the Battletome and sort of buying the stuff through the app. Now obviously we did the app the other week and I'll pop a link just up here. And I've got nothing against it apart from, like I said, you had to sort of zoom in to see everything on the war scrolls themselves. That was my biggest problem, and of course it didn't include the battalions. The battalions were a cost of $6.99. Now, but you're going to say to me, well, hang on a minute, the books are like £20 a throw. Now, I bought mine for 17 because obviously I go to Element Games, it's a little bit cheaper. But I can see your point. Now, what is it that's good about this then, over buying the bit on the app? Well, in my opinion, on the app, you don't get the background for your army. In this, it has background on everything from the Great Plagues to what was going on in the Mortal Realms, what Skaven Pestilence are all about, including sort of what happened and when, as well as looking at the armies of Pestilence and the colours of Contagion, things like that, just things that you wouldn't get in the app. Because the app is more of a factual thing, it gives you the information to be able to play the game. And that's great if you're on the go or you forget your books, it's fantastic. But from the point of view of background, I don't think it gives you any of that. And personally, I'm a big background person. I like to get into and read about the background, because obviously I read Black Library and things like that. So I'm into my background, and I feel it really constructs a narrative to your battles. Also, it gives you an ideas for, you know, what you're going to do with your banners, what each unit is and why they exist, and then you go in, and of course you get pictures of all the models, so you can really see what you want to do for the paint schemes and ideas that you might want to pull off. I mean, there's some great yellow sort of plague monks on this page, which I've never thought of doing. I've always done mine green. But also in here, you immediately get the war scrolls for everybody, obviously, but you also get the battalions. Now, the battalions you have to pay for, like I said, with the app, $6.99. And the one thing I like about this book is everything's on one page. So say you ran a battalion which was the Congregation of Filth, which is that one there. Now, personally, I would be kind of like, well, on the app I'd be able to zoom in and out to be able to read my abilities. Where with this, I can just go, yeah, it's this. And it's a lot easier. I find it a lot more user-friendly. I haven't put any tabs in the top of this. My old books, you know, used to have tabs all in the top of where everything was, and I will probably do that in time. The other thing I really like these is they're hardback. Back in the day with the old sort of Skaven Codex, it was paperback, and I've got some knocking about upstairs, and they're in a right ragged state from taking them to battles and your friend's house, and you're flicking through them all the time. So I'm hoping this one will last me a little bit longer. So you are paying partly for the construction of the book in the first place. But I think these are great. Like I say, I think it's great that it covers things like the background of the Great Plagues and gives you some really cool artwork inside here as well. As well as, like I say, some ideas of how to paint your models, which I think is fantastic. I couldn't sell it enough, but for those of you who are using the app, I've got nothing against it, like I said in a previous video. But personally, I think I'll stick to the books. So if you're thinking of getting a Battletome, do check out the Element Games website where I got mine from. I'll pop a link down below because they're a little bit cheaper than Games Workshop. And I'll see you next time where we'll take a look at the start collecting boxes. In that set of videos, I'm going to do two. One, talk about start collecting boxes in general. Are they worth it? Are they too expensive? Do you get your money's worth? And then also, I'm also going to talk about, obviously do the unboxing in another video, and talk about, does it fulfill any battalion straight away? And whether it is worth buying the start collecting box because it fills a battalion straight away and you'll be able to get the abilities. But that's it for now, and I'll see you next time.